Experts are warning that the supply chain disruptions heading our way could be more severe than anything we experienced during the recent pandemic. Anyone who thinks we can easily substitute $438 billion worth of Chinese imports is simply kidding themselves. Thousands of products manufactured in China simply don't have alternative sources. Sure, we'll try to minimize the damage, but our options are limited.
Shalom. First, I'll start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash. Double honor to teachers that listen to the house of Great Millstone, likewise, brothers putting out this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and you brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, The Will of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Now, you saw in the opening clip there, where they're showing these empty shelves, and of course they're blaming it on the tariffs, and, the trade war between China and America. But in reality, this is about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai bringing that judgment on Great Babylon America and actually upon the world. But we focus here on Great Babylon America because this will have a profound impact, on the children of Israel, the so-called Black Native Americans and Latinos whose seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, the prophets has been out there warning for years, long before brothers like myself found out I was a Hebrew Israelite and coming out on the highway and the byway. For years that these things were going to be taking place. And actually, this is an article, and supposedly, Bezos from Amazon was going to reveal on Amazon, what the tariffs are costing consumers, reveal the price. And they scrapped that idea because, obviously, it would set in that panic, but nonetheless, none of these things could be hidden. We know that the wickedness that's being brought on Great Babylon America by the hands of the cruel Lord, who is Donald J. Trump, is that of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who is judging this place. Let's go in the book of Proverbs 21 and 12. It reads, "The righteous man can wisely consider the house of the wicked, but power overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness." So we consider these tariffs, what are they meant to cause? Death, destruction. These new laws that Trump have come up with, what are they meant to cause? Death and destruction and harm, especially to the children of Israel. You have these ICE roundups, and what you have is a nation that is a consumer nation, You can see Great Babylon America is all about products and merchandise, and they're talking about, these things are not going to be on the shelves, and the shelves are going to be empty for toiletries and certain clothes and all that stuff. But what people really need to concern themselves with, and which is going to be the base of this lesson, is the famine, the lack of bread, food. You see, this is the typical American here, They eat more than they need to. They're gluttonous, they're lazy, and they're content. And now they're being awakened to reality, as time goes on, that soon these pleasures of life is going to come to an end. Let's go to the book of Psalms 7 and 11. It reads, "Power judgeth the righteous, and power is angry with the wicked every day." Now, all of us, have done bad things in life, None of us, are born completely righteous, But the wicked, are these Edomites, the so-called white people, and their leaders, who are sitting in these high positions in society across the earth, they're princes. These are the ones that are ruling the earth, These are the ones that the earth is given to rule. And take a look at the results. This is the results. This man came out and said, I'm going to make America great again. And these people actually believed it. And how many times we have to go and tell you, Jakes, never trust thy enemy. Never believe what comes out of the so-called white man's mouth. His action towards us, since we've been brought over here on ships, to slavery, which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, gave us over to Esau, as a judgment, as a punishment. But you see what they've done after we were supposed to have, completed our punishment. They persecute us even more and set up laws, and snares in place that is continuously entrap Jake. Hey, Esau to this day is seething with rage that Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Black Americans and Latinos, okay, are the one that the Lord Yahweh Shai favors. Okay? But the judgment really is going to come from the Lord Yahweh Shai upon everyone that's here in Great Babylon, America. And it's interesting. I saw a video from a brother today concerning the closures of hospitals. So I'm going to look a little bit more into it. And Lord willing, I can bring a lesson into that, because when you look into that, it's going to have an impact on Yasharal, especially because a lot of our people, they smirk and mock at the dietary laws, and we're going to see how that's going to work, in the coming time that we're going into. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 22. It reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should be suddenly afraid." Why are they going to be afraid? No food? What's the leisure time here in America? Eat. Okay? In fact, when I'm done with this lesson, I'm going to go eat. I haven't really eaten anything today, other than a few little, light snacks. But this is what we do in America, okay, is we eat. Now, we tend to fast, okay, and we keep our bodies healthy as possible. We follow the dietary law to the best of our ability, because we know he slips the abomination inside his ingredients, and there's nothing we can do about that. But we don't blatantly go there and break the laws that Yahweh Shai set for us not to eat certain food like pork, for example, okay, the swine, okay, scaleless fish, okay, those type of things. So what you have right now is a great famine that's going to be taking place real soon. And we can see that when this happens, okay, as people start to feel those pangs of hunger, they no longer can buy groceries because the food prices is becoming too high, and really they're limiting the food this time around, because 2020, that was a simulation. This time around, it could be the real deal, because these elites know that they only have a few years before they bring in that new world order. And they said, the 2030 agenda? Okay, so they need to move real quick. Okay, it says, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run." So you are going to have, a global conflict amongst people that are in their own tribes. Okay, you're going to have, in America in particular, you have the 18 tribes here. So imagine, 18 tribes that are disorderly and armed to the teeth. Okay, so this is a beautiful thing, because we know America has to be destroyed in order, okay, for the elect to get that inheritance, to get that partake in the kingdom. Okay, for the Mashiach to set up the heavenly kingdom, Great Babylon, America, has to be destroyed, and these other tribes have to be subdued. Okay, let's go into the book of Lamentation 4 and 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the land." Okay, nation of obesity, you can see here, man. I mean, it's like you have buffets on the cruise ships, you have buffets in the casinos, you have buffets almost everywhere across this nation. People just eat and eat like doggone swines. You ever watch it? Okay, you ever seen it? Okay, so guess what? As the food shortages become really evident, these cruise ships no longer going to be able to offer cruise where you can eat all you can eat. So you can see where this is going to start to have a really downward spiral impact. And really, when you look at it, the whole world is all about food. It really is all about food. When you fly international 14-hour flight, 17-hour flight, you get served a couple meals. Okay, if you're sitting in an economy. Okay, when you go on these cruise ships, it's all about the meal and the party. In America, it's all about the meal and the party. When you go overseas, it's all about trying out the different cuisine. Imagine now all of that suddenly come to an end. And in particular here in Great Babylon, America, where the typical American, okay, can eat probably about 2 to 3 times more than these people eat in these other parts of the world. Okay, they used to the starvation, but over here, okay. And so you can see this man, okay, is the perfect catalyst, okay, to bring in this judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shai have for displaced. Let's go into Proverbs 20 and 24. It reads, man's going of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Trump can't understand what he's doing. Neither can all his cabinet members, okay? His secretaries, as they call them, okay? Nor the regular people, which is the reason why they're going to rise up and go, what the hell is going on? How is this making America great? People over here are not used to patience, used to waiting on anything. That's why you have fast food, okay? Everything is instant gratification right now. And Trump, what did he come when he say? Well, we're going to feel a little pain before things get better, but then the money's going to come pouring and people ain't waiting for that. They can't. It's not a society that's disciplined at that, okay? And it's not going to happen because why? Okay, Trump is that catalyst, okay, set up by the elites, who the elites are set up by Yahweh Shai, okay, to do exactly what he's doing, which is to sabotage his own nation. This place is divided. Look at it, okay? And now you suddenly start to see the people that you would never see begging and with tears in their eyes and crying for wants and needs, which is these so-called white people, the Edomites, are now displaying truly what they really are made out of. And they're weak as doggone cat diarrhea, man. Seriously, look at them. And here's what they're gonna do as they realize there's no answer. There's no making America great again. Here's what they're gonna do. This is 2 Esdras 15, verse 14. It reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draw it now. One people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. It's gonna be global, but especially here in Great Babylon, America, with the guns. Everybody's armed to the teeth. Everybody's armed to the teeth. Some people know how to use their weapons, others don't. Okay? But nonetheless, people are going to become savages. Okay? It says, for there should be sedition amongst men and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. Authority, law enforcement. Okay? And that's why we always tell you, Jason, take that doggone monkey suit off. Okay, you doggone jakes are in the military. Don't go walking around in public with your military, because especially if they send in the military in these doggone communities and stuff like that, well, the people are going to go up against the military, because they can be looking and viewing, the military coming into their communities, for these lockdowns or whatever the case is, as a form of another oppression. Okay, first there's no food, but now you want to lock us in a house to starve to death. Hey, people are going to be just killing everything they see. So it behooves you, Jason, not to be putting that monkey suit on. Okay, and I'm talking about you doggone police officers, you law enforcement. This is not your place. Why you even think you are regarded in those doggone monkey suits? Seriously, think about it. All right. And it says, a man shall desire to go in a city and should not be able to. Lockdowns, you can have groups are going to be getting together and cordoning off things so that you can have people holding up whatever remains of the supermarket or the food or whatever the case is like that. I mean, just think of Mad Max and how they was like, giving out the water, at a certain time, and that depends on how the guy felt, It says, for because of their pride, the city should be troubled and the houses should be destroyed and men should be afraid. If men are afraid, what do you think about women and children? Okay? You can look around and see how weak these men are. I mean, physically weak, mentally weak, they're emotional. They can't make a decision without getting the approval of their woman. And a woman is naturally just stupid. The Lord created a woman to be stupid and simple. Any man giving their boss a damn woman, you deserve that, plain and simple. Okay? And these men are going to tolerate this shit from these doggone women during that time. These women are going to be ordering them, we don't have any food, why don't you go out there and get some food? Yeah, take this gun, and you can come back. And sooner or later, that woman has to go out there. And guess what? She ain't coming back either. Okay? But on top of that, your house is going to be invaded anyway. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Your neighbor right now is your enemy. And this is what you need to understand. And this is going to be from town to town, to city, okay? And also just right around you in general. Okay, so we can see here, this is leading to something called famine or shortages, and not everybody's going to go through the famine, but if you've got something, your house looks good, your cars, you have multiple cars in your parking lot or in your parking space, and you're known to be kind of flashy, you're going to be a doggone target first, okay? Because people are going to automatically assume you have food inside your house. All right, So Lord willing, the lack was satisfied to close up by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.